Here's a question that will make you uncomfortable. What if everything you were taught about being nice was a lie designed to keep you small, broke, and easy to control? Let me paint a picture you've probably lived. You work harder than your coworkers, yet they get promoted. You're always available for friends, yet they disappear when you need help. You bend over backwards for everyone, yet somehow you're still broke, still overlooked, still wondering when your kindness will finally pay off. Here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. It won't. Not because kindness is wrong, but because you've confused kindness with something far more dangerous, people-pleasing. And that confusion is costing you everything. Society sells you a beautiful lie from childhood. Be nice, share, don't make waves, put others first. And if you're good enough, kind enough, helpful enough, success and respect will naturally follow. Except they don't. Look around. The nicest people you know are often struggling, while those with boundaries, those willing to say no, those who value their own time, they're the ones winning. This isn't cynicism. It's pattern recognition. The problem isn't your kindness. The problem is kindness without boundaries. When you're kind without boundaries, you're not actually kind. You're just afraid. Afraid of conflict. Afraid of disappointing people. Afraid that if you stop being useful, you'll stop being valued. So you say yes when you mean no. You smile when you're screaming inside. You sacrifice your needs, your time, your money, your energy, hoping that eventually someone will notice and reward your goodness. But here's what actually happens. People don't respect what's freely given. They respect what has value. And when you give yourself away constantly, you signal that your time, your energy, your presence has no value. Think about the economy for a second. What happens when something is abundant and always available? Its value crashes. Water is essential for life, yet it's cheap because it's abundant. Diamonds are functionally useless, yet they're expensive because they're scarce. You are operating like water, abundant and available to everyone, when you should be operating like a diamond, valuable precisely because you're selective about where you invest your energy. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, you're devaluing yourself in the marketplace of respect. Let's talk about what respect actually is, because most people fundamentally misunderstand it. Respect is not about being liked. In fact, the pursuit of being liked is often the enemy of being respected. When you need people to like you, you become controllable. You'll compromise your values to avoid confrontation. You'll accept less money than you're worth to avoid uncomfortable negotiations. You'll tolerate disrespect to keep the peace, and everyone around you, consciously or unconsciously, learns that you can be pushed. Not because they're evil, but because you've taught them that your boundaries are negotiable. Respected people are not universally liked. They're often called difficult, demanding, or even selfish by those who benefited from their previous people-pleasing. And you know what? They're fine with that, because they've made a choice. They'd rather be respected by few than used by many. They understand that respect is the currency of real relationships and real success. Likability is cheap and temporary. Respect is valuable and enduring. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop trying to be nice. Start trying to be honest. Nice is performance. It's saying what people want to hear. It's hiding your real opinions to avoid discomfort. Honest is authentic. It's saying what needs to be said with kindness, but without apology. When someone asks you to work for free, nice says maybe or makes excuses. Honest says, I don't work for free. When someone disrespects your time, nice swallows it and smiles. Honest addresses it directly. The difference isn't cruelty, it's self-respect. And self-respect is magnetic. Now let's address the fear. You're afraid that if you set boundaries, you'll lose people. And you're absolutely right. You will lose people. But here's what they don't tell you. You'll lose exactly the people who were only there to use you. The people who valued your compliance more than your character. The friends who only called when they needed something. The employers who underpaid you because you were too nice to negotiate. The romantic partners who took advantage of your endless patience. Losing these people isn't loss. It's liberation. It's making room for the people and opportunities that will actually value you. Setting boundaries isn't about becoming cold or cruel. It's about becoming clear. Clear about what you will and won't accept. Clear about what your time is worth. Clear about who deserves access to your energy. The most respected people in any room aren't the loudest or the meanest. They're the clearest. They don't need to explain themselves endlessly or justify their decisions. They state their position and move on. There's a quiet power in that clarity that nice people, constantly explaining and apologizing, never access. So how do you actually do this? How do you stop being nice and start being respected? First, practice the power of no. Not maybe. Not I'll think about it when you already know the answer. Just no. No is a complete sentence. It doesn't require explanation, justification, or apology. When you don't want to do something, when something doesn't serve you, when someone is asking too much, just say no. Watch what happens. Most people will respect it immediately. The ones who don't, who push back and guilt trip you, they just revealed exactly why you needed the boundary. Second, stop explaining yourself to people who don't respect you. Explanation is a gift you give to people who've earned your trust, not a tax you pay to everyone who questions you. When you constantly explain and justify your choices, you're unconsciously asking for permission to live your own life. Respected people don't ask permission. They inform. There's a massive difference. Third, charge what you're worth and deliver massive value. Whether you're an employee negotiating salary or an entrepreneur setting prices, undercharging is not kindness. It's self-sabotage. When you undercharge, clients don't appreciate the discount. They devalue your work. When you charge premium rates, you attract premium clients who respect your expertise. Stop trying to be the cheapest option. Start trying to be the best option. Fourth, become comfortable with other people's disappointment. This is the big one. Your people-pleasing comes from an inability to tolerate disappointing others. But here's the truth. You cannot live an authentic, successful, respected life without disappointing people. It's impossible. Every time you honor yourself, someone who benefited from your self-betrayal will be disappointed. Let them be. Their disappointment is not your emergency. Finally, understand this. Respect and kindness are not opposites. The most powerful combination in the world is someone who is genuinely kind but absolutely unbreakable. Kind enough to help when it's right, strong enough to refuse when it's not. Generous with their wisdom, stingy with their time. Warm in personality, firm in boundaries. That person is unstoppable. That person is respected. That person can be you. The world doesn't need more nice people willing to betray themselves for approval. The world needs more honest people with the courage to set boundaries and the strength to maintain them. Stop being nice. Start being respected. The difference will change your entire life. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more truth that transforms. Your next level is waiting, and it starts with respecting yourself enough to demand it from others.